Hi everybody, good news. I've got a Pro brush from Perry. I've been lucky enough to be sent one, and here it is. I'll show you. Camera down. It's been specially signed by Perry as well. There it says, to the UK. Swing that out of the way, from Perry. I think this brush is going to be worth millions soon, so I'm hanging on to it. Anyway, it's called a Pro brush. Formerly the Constructor Brush. It probably still is a Constructor Brush. You can still slide the bristles in and out. That's one of the features of these brushes from Future of Cleaning, or Reach-iT if you like. This one has a few differences from the old Constructor Brush. I say old, it's not been out that long. It's got a lot of marked differences. It's got exactly the same swivel here mechanism, which is absolutely brilliant, which is recessed very slightly into the brush head here, which makes the ergonomics absolutely perfect. It's fabulous, this piece of kit. I couldn't work without this, to be quite honest, and that's all I use every day. It's called the side to side. You can see the number 2 there. That's what that stands for. Okay. What we've got is the older Constructor Brush here, and one of the main differences I can see is that the main headstock, they still like these brushes of course, is made of aluminium, and now they seem to have gone across to a form of plastic. I don't know what sort it is, but it looks extremely tough, this plastic here, as you can see. And we no longer have jets within the brush as in the old one here. You can see you've got that option. Okay, this brush is really designed specifically for a rinse bar, which it comes with of course. Okay, that's the Hydro blade, as we all know. You can upgrade the older brushes with it as well. That's one I've upgraded. You see this brush has had a lot of work, and it's done extremely well. It's getting a little bit tatty now here. This is where it tends to take a lot of the stick. That's mainly from brickwork there when I'm trying to do the frames, the windows. In the UK we've got a specific problem really. The frequency of our work tends to give these brushes a lot of stick. Now another thing I've noticed, you notice here with the older brushes, there's a sort of a flare you get, don't you, on each end. These bits tend to flare outwards there. Okay, and the new ones, it's straight, you see, on both sides. Not only that, you can see these curves here. They're quite wide on this, but they're much narrower on this one here. Okay, and the screws go straight in there instead of at an angle. Okay, now I've already had one of these to bits, these new ones, and it's much easier to take apart than the old one. Everything seems to work better. All the bristles slide in and out much easier. I've tried that. The only thing I found is in transit the brushes in the box tend to get squashed. But all you need to do, I've just done a video on this, you slide the bristles out, get a cup of hot water, dip them in, and they'll re-straighten again. Of course they're not going to stay like this, they're going to end up more like the old one in the end, quite frizzled, but that doesn't matter. At the moment it all looks lovely, not shiny and new. Now this brush is also designed to be a Sill Brush, okay, and that's what we've been waiting for, especially here in the UK. You can see that blade there, okay, it's got its own slot there, and it's actually held in with one screw, as you can see there. Now in transit, again, this was squashed forwards, so all I did was undo this screw, slide the blade out, put it back the other way around, and now it's pointing more of the correct angle for cleaning sills. You can just about see that on the camera. See, it sticks out, and that will go onto the sill there. Clean the sills really well. It's going to be really good. See other changes. I can see that the tubing here is now loose here, whereas on the other brush it went all the way along in a channel, you see. But one of the positive things there, I think, is that there's not going to be as much strain on this union here. Sometimes the plastic ones, which you actually get in this kit if you want to change it around for any reason, you can just see it there. Okay, the T-piece, that won't snap as easily. That's another change I've noticed as well. Other things which is quite unique, very interesting, this I found this amazing. The channels that the bristles go in on the ends, the curved ends here, actually slide into a curve rather than like the old ones. They just slid straight into each end. Okay, it's very fuzzy so you can't really see that, but if you're familiar with these brushes you'll know what I mean. They just slid in straight into the little channels. You can just see the ends of the channels there. It's getting a little bit tatty, but it's still fine, this brush. So they slide in and a curve right round. It makes it really neat. When it collapses, this brush on the glass, hope you can see that there. I haven't actually tried it yet, but it seemed to splay really nice. Got a lovely splay to it, and possibly because the old brush flared up like that, the ends here would sometimes not quite touch the glass as effectively as you'd like, because this portion here would tend to push it off the glass on a lighter stroke unless you pressed a little bit harder. So what I'm hoping for this, because they're level, all these bristles, you can see that there, the profile, then it's going to be better for getting in the corners, etc., than the older one. There won't be as much effort required. Of course you can still change this brush around, chop and change it if you want to, but it's probably being tried and tested and it's probably optimal. I don't know. Another thing we can see, feature from the old one. There's the old one. You see the tube is, although that looks exposed, it doesn't actually come like that. I actually had to cut that off because it was getting so battered. I cut round here. This plastic used to go part of the way around here, and you could still see the tube underneath. It would be in a little slot, rather like this, but it would continue. Okay, but these, on the brand new one, these look extremely tough. Okay, I think that's with the British market in mind, where we tend to really hammer our brushes because of the nature of the work we've got. The tube goes within, the Rhino tube goes actually within these areas here. Okay, so when it hits brickwork, it will tend to knock this portion, which looks very tough, instead of this inner portion just here, which we were getting on this particular brush. This tended to take a lot of stick, as you can see there. Try my best not to let it happen, but it does. As for weight, they feel about the same weight. I'm not going to weigh it or anything, but it weighs about the same, I think. So all in all, there's been a lot of changes here to this brush, and it's been a welcome addition. You can see that with the Sill Brush bit. I've been waiting for this for a while. I can't wait to use that. I know it works for a fact because I did a mock-up with just this one blade. It just works tremendously well. You can see in the centre of this brush, Perry set it up with a hard bristle one there, so if you get some bird muck, you can collapse this down. If you can press hard enough, it depends on the height, it will collapse onto this bit and the bird muck will just vanish, I can promise you that. So all in all, absolutely excellent. I can't wait to try it. When you get this brush, make sure that this hydro blade is slid in the wrong way, slid in the correct way I should say, because this one was in the wrong way with alignment. It can be done that way, but what happens is that the water will spray almost vertically. So all you need to do is take this hydro blade out, okay, and replace it the other way around, slide it in the other way, and the jets will be pointing much closer to the tips of these bristles, and that's really what you want, okay, but you'll have to experiment with that. So that's as far as I can see, that's all the details. All I need to do now is demonstrate it on the glass, which I'll do in another video, so that's fantastic. I can't wait to use this thing. I really like this. So until next time, that's definitely job done.